Hey everybody, Josh Searson, World Alternative Media here, and shall we add yet another individual to the Clinton body count? Well, I suppose we shall. After exhausting theories by the establishment that Russia hacked the DNC and that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia, new evidence proves the so-called conspiracy theory that DNC staffer Seth Rich was murdered for, in actuality, leaking DNC info to Wikileaks. A Fox News investigation has found, and I quote, federal law enforcement investigators found 44,053 emails and 17,761 attachments sent between DNC leaders from January 2015 to May 2016 that Seth shared with WikiLeaks before he was gunned down. The Democratic National Committee staffer who was gunned down on July 10th on a Washington, D.C. street just steps away from his home had leaked thousands of internal emails to WikiLeaks, law enforcement sources told Fox News. A federal investigator who reviewed an FBI forensic report detailing the contents of DNC staffer Seth Rich's computer generated within 96 hours after his murder said Rich made contact with WikiLeaks through Gavin McFadden, a now deceased American investigative reporter, documentary filmmaker, and director of WikiLeaks who was living in London at the time. I have seen and read the emails between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks, the federal investigator told Fox News, confirming the McFadden connection. He said the emails are in possession of the FBI while the stalled case is in the hands of the Washington Police Department. This is a story we've been reporting on since it broke here at WHAM. The leaks led to the resignation of Debbie Wasserman Schultz as DNC chairwoman and showed the DNC's attempt to deep six Bernie Sanders' campaign, which they were successful in. The leaks were released just days after Seth Rich's murder. This as Seth Rich trends on Twitter, and new questions are raised following his family hiring a private investigator, Rod Wheeler, a former DC homicide detective. And I quote, "My investigation up to this point shows there was some degree of email exchange between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks," Wheeler told Fox News. "I do believe that the answer to who murdered Seth Rich sits on his computer on a shelf at the DC Police or FBI headquarters. My investigation shows someone within the DC government, Democratic National Committee, or Clinton team is blocking the murder investigation from going forward," Wheeler told Fox News. "That is unfortunate. Seth Rich's murder is unsolved as a result of that. The botched robbery theory, which police have pursued for nearly a year, isn't panning out," Wheeler said. "Two assailants caught on a grainy videotape from a camera posted outside a grocery mart shot Rich twice in his back, but did not take his wallet, cell phone, keys, watch, or necklace worth about $2,000. Wheeler went on to say this.
Actually, I have a source inside the police department that has looked at me straight in the eye and said, "Rod, we were told to stand down in this case, and I can't share any information with you." Now, that's highly unusual for a murder investigation.
So, the police were basically told to stand down, which is highly unorthodox. Around 4:17 a.m., Rich was about a block from his home when Mulca, still on the phone with him, heard voices in the background. Rich reassured her that he was steps away from being at his front door and hung up. 2 minutes later, Rich was shot twice. Police were on scene within 3 minutes. Rich sustained bruising on his hands and face. He remained conscious but died at a nearby hospital less than 2 hours later. According to Wheeler, a DNC official called the Rich family asking why Wheeler was snooping around. Interestingly enough, it turns out the DNC official who made this call was the same official Seth Rich was having personal problems with while working for the DNC. Shortly after the murder, WikiLeaks offered a $130,000 reward for information regarding Seth Rich's death. Julian Assange ended up all over the news cycle after saying this.
Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material and often very significant risks. There's a 27-year-old works for the DNC who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
we don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States, and that our sources are, our sources face serious risks. That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
But it's quite something to suggest a murder. That's basically what you're doing.
Well, that others have suggested that. We are investigating to understand what happened in that situation with Seth Rich. I think it is a concerning situation. There's not a conclusion yet. We wouldn't be willing to state a conclusion, but we are concerned about it.
Now, the media, for the most part, is refusing to comment on this enormous viral story. This is why we at WHAM are here. If the media properly reported on this insanity, it is likely we could see Hillary Clinton put on trial, or at least someone from the DNC. The DNC still refuses to give up its server to the FBI for investigation. This is interesting considering their claim of Russian hacking. But of course, these servers could show a direct paper trail to Rich. So here's Trump's chance to show he's not yet completely entrenched in the deep state, and will do what he said he would do for so long, to lock Hillary up. Of course, we've seen many people who've gone against Clinton in one way or another end up dead. Vince Foster comes to mind. He apparently committed suicide, but had carpet fibers all over him from being wrapped in a carpet. Was placed at a riverside with his head up, yet blood pouring up his skull. His gun was not properly in reach to have shot himself, according to forensic experts, and his office was plundered the same night, files stolen. Something that we know publicly is that Clinton conspired before the semen was found on Monica Lewinsky's dress and publicly reported to actually make Lewinsky look crazy and get her committed to a mental hospital. These criminal globalists have to be held accountable, and it takes word of mouth and the vast public's awareness to get it done. Let's get this story out. Let's not let these murderers get away with it. The global criminal elite will be taken down. They will not prevail. Truth and freedom will prevail. Thanks for watching, everyone. You can check the links below. Go find me Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are incredibly demonetized and censored by YouTube. You can also check our Bitcoin address in the description and the comments, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also check our link to the Red Pill Expo, which takes place on June 23rd and 24th, 2017 in Bozeman, Montana, where you could see people like J. Edward Griffin, Lord Monckton, Robert Kiyosaki, Richard Gage, James Corbett, Cynthia McKinney, John Rappaport, Mike Adams, Ty Bollinger, Joel Salatin, Jeff Berwick, Lauren Southern, and others, and we hope to see you there. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.